Hi everyone. So here we are behind the scenes of the Amensal Rise episode 10,053, and we're gonna be talking today about the Amensal Rise.
The song.
The song. What is the song, the Amensal Rise? What's the point of this thing?
The initial idea behind the song was to have a song that's focused on around rhythms of five. Basically, so to have maybe the first idea I had was to have a rhythm that would work both as a 5/4 and as quintuplets in a 4/4 in different tempos, obviously, but to switch around those two vibes, which are very different grooves and different vibes, because the 5/4 is obviously very straight and very robotic in some ways. And then you have the quintuplet groove, which was very much inspired by like drunken feeling grooves from fusion musicians or R&B musicians, and to have the same rhythm over those two different grooves. So that was the first idea behind the song, intertwined with very melodic and very epic choruses. There are two of those in the song, which we'll come to later. And thematically, I think it's probably the most personal song on the album. Personally, it's my favorite one on the album still. Yeah. I feel like it's the one that people mention the least. Yeah. And I remember you being very skeptical about it when you first heard it for many reasons.
I think that today, I love listening to it by itself. And in the album, it's the moment where it loses me. Then I kind of realize where we are towards the end of it. Like, oh, okay, wait, I'm still listening to the Amensal Rise. And I feel like it's on this edge where most people will enjoy the album, hopefully, for the ride it offers and all of that. And because this one has it's so disruptive.
Yeah.
It's gonna mark the album, but maybe not mark people as a piece itself.
I think in a lot of ways, I still think it's a very fitting song to be the title track on the album.
100%, yeah. I feel it really encompasses in a really particular way the vibe of the whole album.
Yeah, so maybe you can dive deep into it and start dissecting what the fuck is going on.
All right, let's go. If you're interested, by the way, as we're saying in all of them, all of these videos, if you're interested in knowing a little bit more what's happening behind it and being able to go through it yourself, we have Guitar Pros, we have all the stems, the mixing stems right here, and we have the demos and stuff like that. So you can buy that all on our Bandcamp. Yes.
Bandcamp page.
Yes, you can buy it on our Bandcamp page. This is where we ended our last video.
Yeah.
This little part
where Magnets ends, and it kind of takes the same structure of notes, but like playing them in a much more regular way, like around the 5/4 signature, which is the theme of the song, basically.
We're starting the song at 165 BPM. We ended on 173, apparently. So this one doesn't go up as much as some of the other ones.
No, and there are some changes, if I remember correctly, there are some changes in tempo that go down because you have to make that quintuplet feel fit the same way the 5/4 would feel. So you have to slow down the tempo and go into 4/4 signature and have the quintuplets, which would seem like the tempo is staying the same, but with the 4/4 groove. So that's one of the exceptions of the album in terms of the tempo always going up, but it's not noticeable because it just goes into 4/4 and it's just the same accents basically.
Yeah.
So
because you still have that 5 division.
The 5 division
within
is still
the 4 beats.
Yeah.
You'll see.
So we actually had to pull out the calculator to make that happen.
C'est dégueulasse. Ah, mais c'est un 11-8.
11-8. Pourquoi 11-8 Pourquoi 11-8
Bah, je sais pas, mais la mesure d'avant, c'est un 11-8.
C'est du 5-4 normalement.
Ah! C'est parce qu'il y a un roulement à la batterie à la con, il y a un changement de tempo en pleine mesure.
Ah, en pleine mesure.
Mais c'est pour Pablo, hein. C'est lui qui s'est fait ses...
Ah, c'est son clic à lui.
Ouais.
Ah, ok.
Du coup, c'est un 11-8 qui commence en 165 et qui change en 132 en plein milieu.
fun, hein? Ah, qu'est-ce qu'on s'amuse bien. Le morceau, c'est marrant, il est particulièrement pas drôle à jouer.
It's maybe a good moment to state that this song was, like the rest of the album, but especially this song was never written as a song that was meant to be played live.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the stuff for Pablo is, as he himself states it, is not playable by him.
Yeah.
Some of it was a bit of studio magic.
So,
Pablo is an amazing drummer.
Yeah.
He's very good. He's excellent at so many things, but I think he would agree that he could not be playing this part as tight as this. But yeah, going back to that intro, so we have this keyboard and those layers of noise kind of building up around it. And we have in the background this kind of synth-wavy groove on an electronic drum kit that was completely randomly generated.
Okay.
So we played with like random algorithms to come up with the notes.
All right.
And played them in 3 different plugins, I believe. We played around with a few grooves that we came up with, and it ended up not being very interesting. So we were like, fuck it, let's play something random. And then afterwards we edited it a bit.
Okay.
Just removing and moving some accents. But it ended up being much more of a background element than it was supposed to be. Initially, we actually wanted it to be a very forefront kind of R&B electronic groove.
Okay.
But eventually we felt it was maybe more fitting to have more atmosphere and have those very atonal and dissonant effects moving in, and this kind of being in the background.
Nice.
And then there's this big build up on the drums. I like literally told Pablo, just play the intro to Stranded by Gojira. That's just how it works.
Another thing I would like to... so wait. Let's listen to maybe to those acoustic guitars, because they're actually quite cool. Yeah, we added here the clean guitar because they work in tandem.
Yeah.
Little fun things that we did on the production of this acoustic guitar. Here, there's only one guitar, if I remember correctly, or a very, very, very gentle layer of the second one on the right, and they're not playing the same thing. They play a chord that's split.
I think if I remember correctly, they either play a chord that's split or they play the same chord but on different strings.
And then the bass is doing this. Actually, we pretty much in a bar in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's a Star Wars bar. You're right. Yeah,
that's a good one.
This song is just filled with tension.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tension, and the only resolution bits are the choruses, which are very dramatic, but the rest of it is just so much tension, man.
Yeah.
And we have also our good friend Nicolas on the violin.
Oh, beautiful. I love fun stuff here. This little...
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
I
love it.
really love playing with Nicolas because of his open-mindedness.
Oh, yeah.
And his ability to just completely forget and unlearn everything he has learned in his amazing career as a musician. And to just go, like, every new song is a clean slate for him. Yeah. But maybe an anecdote that I would share about Nicolas, maybe he would, I don't think he would mind me saying that, but he was very anxious before the session. Okay. And he told me, he sent me a message and he told me, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm quite ready for this, and I'm not that prepared because this is a weird moment in my life, there's a lot going on,
I remember you saying that, yeah.
He was sick on the day of the recording. He was
so miserable.
He arrived and he told us he felt very miserable, and he smashed it. completely. He had notes about everything. He knew all the songs. He had new ideas. Like, yeah, such a pro. Such a pro.
It's so humble.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
So, Nikolai, if you're watching this, join the band, please.
Yeah, we're not cheap.
This kind of thing, it just makes that unique and Omnerod.
Yeah, and it's those very small, spontaneous decisions during the recording that end up playing such a big role in a transition or a section. Like, I love this, yeah. But we sound like a broken record, but we keep saying that we have a lot of stuff and some of it is never heard eventually. But this is a perfect example of, like, if you have this stuff somewhere, then you give it a chance to be heard eventually and be a very important part of the song. But the good thing about working this way is that those layers, they're not just musical ideas, they're also mixing tools.
Yeah.
In many ways, because you can ask, like, for instance, Julien, you can ask who mixed the album. I could ask him, oh, we need more density, or we need more chaos here, or we need more brightness, and then he could just play around with the FX layers to make this happen.
Look, here in this intro. We have this. Ominous and dense. We have this. Groove and energy. We have this. Brightness, but not openness, kind of, but not like super high, super bright either. I mean, super open. Keys. Like if you said, okay, I wanted this to feel even a bit weirder and a bit like more unsure, then ramp up those keys because they play this. They're already playing with your feeling of uneasy, etc. It's like pad. I want to feel more like a scary movie. Well, here we go. Same with this one. We're not enough in the Moria, you know, and then.
That's right.
I need aliens to talk to me louder, you know, stuff like that.
Those are very specific mix
notes.
Yeah.
On this part, I want aliens to be louder, please. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Cool intro. Want to talk a little bit about this riff? That is a little bit of kind of anchor of the song.
Yeah, it's the theme to the song. I think it's in my opinion and in the way I work, it's a very good example of how important it is for me to not overthink stuff.
Okay.
Because I was like, I need a 5/4 riff. I just wrote it on Guitar Pro, worked a bit around it, and it ended up being such a present element in the song. But I was like, when writing it on Guitar Pro, I was like, this sucks. This is not a good riff, and I still think it's not that good of a riff.
Yeah.
But it's just a theme, and it brings a vibe. It brings unbalance to the song, and I think it works. It's not a good riff, but it's a good musical statement, I think. Maybe a good thing to talk about here as well is that we experimented a lot on this song with effects guitars.
Oh, okay.
Which is something I love doing, and there's not a lot of room for it usually. This one breathes a bit more, and we had a lot of fun with this. I think it's a good way to think of it is if it sounds ugly or fun or funny, it's good enough already. No need to make it pretty. Don't need to make it.
Yeah, like this, for example. And the whole mix, that was the thing that we were talking about earlier. The pew.
Yeah,
this is
some interesting stuff.
This is dense in information for sure.
Yeah, and first thing here I think is interesting is that you have this clear switcheroo between quintuplets and then going into 5/4, which is actually enhanced by this going straight into multi-jazz here.
So you're going here from
this quintuplet feel
into 5/4.
Into 5/4, which is don't mind the markers here because they were adapted so that it made it easier for Pablo to record his parts.
Yeah, because he was recording on the click mostly.
He was recording on click, and so we adapted those markers for him. But the intention here is to be in 5/4.
Yeah. Hence the tempo change.
Hence the tempo change.
We are 132 in 4/4 or in 165 in 5/4.
Yeah.
Which is equivalent.
And for this reason, the guitar here is an absolute bitch to play. Seems very easy, but it was a nightmare. Actually.
I remember this. This part here, right?
Before.
Oh, this?
Yeah, this one, yeah.
Just listen to this with the drums.
I really love what Pablo has recorded here on the drums. This little shuffle thing that makes it sound groovy and interesting, and not too
so subtle,
not too focused on that 5 thing.
No. He. I mean, if you just listen to the drums by themselves. It's a very simple sort of bobbing your head.
Yeah.
Very simple groove.
Yeah.
And then this guitar makes it just completely flips it around.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you wanna get into more detail
I
here.
think we can go to Jerry.
To Jerry. All right. So this is a chorus.
Yeah, beginning
part.
of the big chorus thing. Yeah.
This is like a nice big ramp up. As you can see here, we have a Jerry calm, Jerry all in, and Jerry big. Wait. The rain stick.
The rain stick.
So cool.
Again, very useful in the final mix, and very didn't feel like a big deal when we recorded it, but it ends up being a very cool element.
So, Jerry calm.
Time's right for us to take our chances, vile hearts and soiled minds.
So that's a very stripped down section. Very intimate. The guitar here, the clean guitar, is actually the melodic foundation for the entire melodic sections of the song.
Okay.
So it was the first thing I came up with, this small arpeggio on like 2 strings. Est-ce que ça te gêne si je joue avec le potard de tone pendant la take?
Non.
Pour les comps et tout ça, du coup, vaut mieux avoir une one take, quoi.
Bah oui.
Ok. Allez, vas-y.
Ouais.
Allez, on garde, hein, c'est
Ouais,
fini, on
ça
arrête
va.
la journée, on va manger un snack. Hein.
One take, rien à foutre.
Ouais. Like basically the two choruses, the two big melodic sections of the song, they're just built on top of that. Yeah, and this whispered bit as well.
Yeah, those were fun.
We do those a lot, the whispered things, and most of the time they're just a texture. But it's good that in this particular section, since it's so open, you get to really hear it, and it gives a lot. It brings a lot to the table.
The final master.
Vile hearts and soiled minds.
Yeah, now we go into the big chorus.
And it's finally time for me to take my chances. Frail hearts, noble minds. Death staring me down, mocking me for the
Vocals, alright? This is fun spot with vocals. There's a lot of beautiful harmonies here. Let's see what we have here.
from the light. And it's finally time for me to take my chances. Frail hearts, noble minds.
That was a choice.
Frail hearts, noble minds. I was once striving to be yours.
Again, the little trick of dirty layer to accompany the lead vocals that actually here are split left and right.
I was once striving to be yours, now begging to be mine. First version.
And then when this hits, it hits.
Yeah, that's the purpose of having those stereo
Yeah.
layers. Yeah.
We kind of went in. I remember this being kind of a spur of the moment, like
Yeah.
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like how to make this part work better. And like, okay, let's start with the main vocal with about like those two harmonies, nice and big, nice and open after the previous one. Let's split them, create something weird. Fill the center with this lo-fi layer.
I was once.
And then let's go back in full swing with everybody.
First versions of myself staring me down.
These are absolutely amazing.
Past versions of myself staring me down.
Ugh, this could have been a Linkin Park song.
Well,
All right, so we have this gorgeous there. And if you want to talk about something specific,
not really actually. I think this section is really like the sum of its parts. Like there's nothing that's not useful in my opinion here.
it's all creates a whole.
It's a very dense section. It was very difficult to mix because I hate it when people say like I need everything to be heard because that's realistically not possible. But I think that's the only moment in the album I told Julien, let's come
Sorry,
as
bro, man.
close as possible to that because everything is important here.
Yeah.
The violin is absolutely amazing, and I think it's a cool little trick we did to mix in the actual violin performance with the plug-in orchestra because
Yeah, let's show that. That's a good idea.
yeah.
Let's first show the orchestra. And because it's a programmed, very simple MIDI, right? Like it's not like full of automations and movements to make it sound like a real orchestra.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like a mellotron like key, like orchestral keys, which is pretty cool because it takes less space and allows for this to fill out the vibe. So yeah.
Also, like this entire section is a build-up of guitar layers. They're never the main thing, but it just starts with a very clean, crunchy sound, and then it stacks up with like lower frequencies and harsher tones.
Yeah, let's listen to that. That's great. Yeah, you're right. We almost haven't listened to any of the guitars yet. This.
No. Yeah, that's a cool section, and it gives a lot of room for Pablo to shine with that drum.
Oh man,
Drum fill. Like the entire summer section is just crazy on drums.
oh, it's so ridiculous. But the little flanger there on drums, classic.
Yeah, let's make flanger cool again, guys.
Yeah, I love flanger, man. When it's used right,
It's cool, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. It's cool.
the anti-flanger lobby is strong. So
Yeah,
don't let them get you. Don't let them get you.
Flanger nerds unite.
Organ. And then of course, nice,
Yeah.
class stuff. And
Very important actually in the mix, the conjecture of the organs and the synth, because the synth kind of brings it back down and low, and then the organ goes back up, and then
absolutely. Like this is actually one part.
Yeah, it works as one
splits
part,
for to the two instruments, but yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. We move into Pickle Rick,
Yeah.
and because that riff is a pickle.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Like Pablo is the definition of someone being optimistic with playing stuff live. Like when we write stuff, he's like,
yeah, sure,
yeah, it's
whatever."
okay, we'll make it work. And when we actually composed this one, he was like, you do understand that we're never going to be able to play this live, do you? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah. That's fun. And I think if I remember correctly, we recorded, of course, cheating.
The cymbals.
Yeah, there's a separate cymbal track, I think.
Là, j'ai besoin du fameux clic en midi où chaque note est à une noire et une double croche.
Je pense que pour cette partie, ces deux cymbales devraient être plus courtes.
Ouais, c'est très possible. De toute façon, artistiquement, ce morceau, voilà, moi je comprends l'idée qu'a voulu faire Romain, mais en effet, moi je lui ai expliqué, ça va juste ressembler que je fais tout le temps au lieu de faire tac. Ça fait partie du truc, voilà.
Ça me dérange pas.
Ouais.
Ça, je trouve ça c'est
Ok.
intéressant et ça, je comprends.
Ok.
Il y a d'autres trucs qui me perturbent, genre de roulements qui se cassent la gueule littéralement, tu vois, et qui... Je comprends que c'est écrit comme ça, mais à l'oreille, ça se casse la gueule.
Mais lui voulait que ça donne l'impression que ça se casse la gueule, mais que ça se casse la gueule ensemble. D'où le fait que je me suis dit, ok, mais sache que ça va être ultra quantisé et machin truc, parce que
Ouais,
si tu veux que ça sonne comme il faut et que ça sonne pas juste qu'on est nul, il faudra que ça sonne exact, quoi.
Parce que là, c'est des différences d'une double croche
Ouais, voilà.
triolet entre les notes,
Ouais, ouais.
voire plus petit que ça parfois, donc ouais.
Mhm.
J'avoue que c'est vraiment précis. Ok, cool.
And it sounds like it's easy-ish,
Does it?
just weird. But
I think it sounds like it's quite hard. Yeah.
yeah, it's fun.
I think
Easy maybe not. That's not a good word. Good.
I'm actually I don't feel bad about this because I'm kind of confident that if Pablo had 2 months of preparation extra and if we had an extra day of recording, he could have pulled it off.
You think?
I think so. Yeah.
The riff is really fun here again, of course. I think it's one of the most gnarly bass parts on the album. And I love that it slides in between the breaks of the guitar.
Yeah.
That's a really fun thing,
Yeah.
like when you listen to the combo of both.
I think when I wrote this, this song in particular, it's one of the songs, maybe with towards the core as well, where the guitar and the bass is the most disjointed. Like I really wanted the bass to act as its own instrument.
And not as in
something.
like an extension of a big guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the bass is pretty much playing rhythm guitar sections here, and the guitar is playing bass sections in all of the song.
Yeah, that's fair.
The guitar is composed as a bass, and the bass is composed as a rhythm guitar, which is
And then we have a whole singing section on this whole Anthony. Actually, first moment when we meet Anthony on this song. Quite a lot of effects here.
Flanger again. This is an interesting section because initially there was no flanger, and initially there was no kind of white noise build-up on the tonal effects. This section didn't work that well, and
No.
we kind of didn't know why, and Anthony was very vocal about it. He was like, yeah, I don't like how the vocals come in, I don't like the way the riff moves and everything. And so we added 2 things. Actually, Julien added 2 things. It was, I think, his ideas. The flanger on the vocals and the ramp up with the noise before. And it makes this whole Pickle Rick section live a lot more. It was very cool. Very cool ideas he had.
I remember what was frustrating about this part is that everything before really moves and always evolves and stuff. And here we kind of felt trapped. We felt
it was flat.
static.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
What?
Yeah. So this section is starting here up until I would say maybe the last third of the song
Yeah.
is very much kind of a rhythm exercise again, but that we enhance with a lot of dissonance and textures and movements and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But the first ideas written on Guitar Pro are just like, okay, I have a measure of like 5/4 or 6/4, then like triplets and then binary and then quintuplets, and it's just about like making it feel weird rhythmically. And then I come up to Pablo with this, and he has like very big bright eyes, like, oh yeah.
He loves this shit.
He loves this shit, and rightfully so, yeah.
And of course, what we have to play on top of it is. That was, I believe, by the way, recorded by Ardi Romain, because
Was it?
I don't think I, yes,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think I took the time to learn that. It's funny because I can quite easily tell which ones you recorded based on the pick attack. Yeah,
Like a guitar player.
it is like a
I'm not a bass player.
extra twang, and I'm already a guitar player, become bass player, so I already have a lot of that kind of guitar muscle memory. But yeah, you just pick like a madman and like. Let's just listen to the whole bass guitar stack. And this is the moment when you're like, do we really need this?
We do.
Yes, we absolutely do, and we cannot live without it. One of my favorites combos of vocals.
Heavy.
Heavy. Romain screaming, high screams, and Anthony's low growls.
Evil.
Evil, we have this. Of course, big drops. Classics.
Yeah.
And some percussion in it. Because
that's
something.
That's how you roll.
Yeah. And then we go into the heaviest matter of the universe, which is a really cool, really weird riff, if I remember correctly.
It's the main riff, just heavy.
Oh yeah, no, right. So it's a rick.
It's a rick. It's a heavy rick.
It's a heavy rick.
Oula, c'est ça, pardon. Je vais faire juste la batterie, s'il te plaît. N'importe. Avec l'écran fou. Un petit peu. Caca. Caca, trop caca. Quel thème? T'es en 5-4 là? Oui. Est-ce que tu peux me mettre un... Juste pour voir un clic en croche? Pas évident, hein? Belle saloperie en plus. Est-ce que tu peux me mettre la batterie encore plus forte? Grâce. Un peu mieux?
Ouais, mais sale. Trop sale.
Ok.
Trop de bruit entre les cordes.
Kind of bringing back the vocal melody from the first verse. Yeah.
So in each of those ricks, the groove is different, and
Yep.
this is my favorite. Like this. Kind of a metal version of the drunken hip hop groove.
Yeah. And again, that bass that doesn't stop. It's not playing
Yeah.
staccato, not playing palm mute,
Yeah.
just keeping that very low rumble throughout the entire section.
But also guitars here, I think. You can probably hear there's a lot of weird sounds in there. There's like almost like a earthquake thing happening in the background.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers here. There's a straight up very high distortion guitar. There's a quad that's very low. I think it's the lower octave or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a layer with the reversed wah, like closing actually down.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
So, next part, shall we? Let's talk about maybe guitars here first, right?
Yeah.
These are fun. Let's just listen to the beginning again.
Pretty fat.
that one's very fun.
Yeah, that's
We're kind of alternating here, right, between these high intensity sections, and then the not low intensity but lower density, and back into it.
I think that's also why I like this song more than the other ones on the album. Is that when I listen to sections like this one, it's like in my head it's like mission accomplished.
Yeah.
There's nothing I would change to that.
No.
It sounds just as it should.
Drums here.
Just before you move on to the drums,
yeah.
the second half of the guitar effects I really like as well.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry for your phone speakers.
Love it.
What was that with? What was it done with?
I have no idea.
No. I really like the rhythm guitars here. It sounds like very angry mosquitoes. So.
Oh, just before we move on, we need to give a shout out to Shachar, who screamed his ass off during this section. So Shachar is a good friend of ours. Singer of Obsidian Tide, which you should definitely go and check out right away.
Great stuff.
Amazing prog metal band. Yeah. And Shachar was in Belgium when we recorded the vocals for this song. He was in studio, sitting right here in Andre's studio, and we just asked him if he would record some layers, and he crushed it. Like barely any warm up.
Trying.
Yeah, just and then it worked. So yeah, shout out.
Rise, put me to the test, stand upon my chest.
He has such a like quintessential metal growl.
Yeah, very, very tight, very controlled, and very defined. Like you can hear every word, very syllable, so perfectly.
Yeah, and it really works like in Obsidian Tide. It's a band that's actually especially when you see them live, it really feels like mostly prog rock, light prog rock almost, because there's so many sections that are beautiful, clean guitars, very, 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 very dynamic. But then he brings like this opeth heavy thing to it.
And also, since it's one of the, definitely for me, one of the heaviest moments in the album.
Oh yeah.
The fact that there's this very different vocal approach coming in here is very unexpected, and it adds to the oomph of the section.
Yeah, I think so too, yeah.
Hey everyone, this is 2025 Romain speaking to you. I noticed during the editing of this video that 2024 Romain and Andre were very optimistic and kind of dumb, really, thinking that this could all fit into one video, so I have to split it in two parts actually for this song. So let's pretend that this was very much planned ahead and that there was a proper conclusion and outro to this video, to part one of this making of. And to make it up to you, I'll just include some pictures of my cats. Hope you'll enjoy. And we'll see you very soon for part two of this making of video, which is definitely going to be as interesting as part 1. You can choose whether that's good or bad news. I have no opinion on this really. But thanks for watching and see you soon. Peace out.